Joining us now here in studio, Mr. Dan Perry, International Affairs Analyst for former Europe and Middle East Editor at the Associated Press. Thank you very much, Mr. Perry, for joining us. So, Gutierrez is saying the world has had enough, but it has more or less have been the case since day one of the war, since, before the war even began. Question being, how important is it?
Gutierrez is suspect of insufficient sympathy for Israel's plight, and he says a lot of what he says is factually correct, but the music is a little bit wrong to Israeli ears because
or
it
doesn't. He puts it the context.
Well, it doesn't look like he has full appreciation of the monstrosity that Israel faces. They call for a release of the hostages, but their heart doesn't really seem to be so much in that as it is in calls for an immediate end to the war, where one wants to ask Gutierrez himself, are you happy with Hamas in charge in Gaza? Are you sure that's a model of governance that you want to promote around the world? Are these your friends? As for the resolution, it is, I must say, a little bit rich to see Russia object to the U.S. resolution because it doesn't call for an immediate ceasefire. Russia, that continues for more than 2 years in its war of aggression, utterly unprovoked, unlike the Gaza war in Ukraine. So diplomacy is the art of the possible, and much of what goes on in the UN, it really is the art of the ridiculous.
All right, Capitol Hill, but as far as we're concerned, normal aid to Israel, no funding at all for UNRWA. This is the message, this is the bottom line coming out of Washington today. What does it tell us about the support Israel has in Washington these days, if any at all? Maybe it's no indication.
Well, neither is a surprise, but both align with the truth that we know to be the case, which is the Biden administration is a friendly administration. And the Republicans, of course, are going to support aid to Israel. And there is a lot of justified anger at UNRWA, and we can expect more financial pressure on them. I've been saying for a while that I think the Israeli government is unwise in courting conflict with the Americans and in projecting such indifference to the basket of goodies that Biden has organized for Israel, simply because it would require Israel to reinstate a version of the PA in Gaza, which I think is in Israel's benefit and something Israel itself had been demanding for many years. So I think it confirms to us again that Israel has support in the U.S., and we see that also in polls that show that the vast majority of Americans are not confused about the nature of Hamas. The real issue is the government of Israel.